Hello and welcome back to my blog. I have not posted in about 2 weeks, mostly because I've been planning a 10-year sobriety party for my mom, so I was really busy doing that, and mostly because with school and everything, it's just time got away from me. I am going to only post on Tuesdays going forward. It just makes it a little easier for me to get this out there, and then I can tweak the message I want to send for that week a little better. So today, what I do want to talk about, however, is something a lot of people have been asking me lately, mostly due to the first blog I actually made about my coworker's son committing suicide, and just people asking me because they know I have depression myself, asking me what it's like, what it is to deal with, like, and everything like that. So I figured I just answer everybody all at once about it. So really what it is depression is not about feeling sad all the time. It's not about constantly being down or mopey or constantly feeling bad. That's not it at all. Like, please don't think that's what depression is. Depression is simply a chemical imbalance in your brain, and it is very hard to get happy, at least in my world. I have a very hard time expressing that emotion. On the other hand, people who have depression are very good at hiding it. So most people who know me don't even know I have it unless I've openly shared with them that I have it, because I've gotten so good at not letting people know that it exists. I can actually remember being a little kid and never feeling overwhelming happiness and always feeling different than everybody else, like something was off. And I'm sorry, my dogs decided it's time to wrestle. So I just remember growing up feeling that way, and so I've always felt that depression quality, and sometimes it's worse than others. Sometimes I'm not able to hide how I'm feeling, and I feel this overwhelming nothingness. It's not really sad. It's not really melancholy. It's not really down in the dumps. It's just sad. Like, not sad. Sorry, it's just nothingness. I just feel nothing. And it's really hard to explain to people who don't have it how that feels, to just go through and not feel anything. And there's times in my depression where, before I went on medication to kind of even my serotonin out, that I would go from being very sad to really happy. And it was just a weird combination, and I knew it was fleeting. I knew my happiness would go away. I knew it was only for a short period of time, so I'd almost get paranoid that it would go away. Like, I'm not going to be happy for very long. Like, when is this going to go away? So it almost became to the point I couldn't even enjoy being happy, because I didn't know when it was going to crash in my head, and I wouldn't feel that way anymore. So it was really confusing, especially growing up and dealing with teenage emotions. I felt things very intensely when I was younger. It was less intense as an adult, I would say, but especially being a teenager, going through puberty and everything hit so much harder than I felt when I was younger. But I just remember always feeling a certain way and never knowing that it was depression that was causing me to feel that way. I hope you're enjoying the wiener wars behind me. This is what dachshunds do when you're trying to make a video blog. My husband is at school tonight, so no one is attending to their needs. So I just remember always feeling that way. And I used to write a lot. That was one way I dealt with it. I would just write down everything I felt. And honestly, I've never looked at that stuff again. I'm actually kind of scared too. I don't really want to know what I wrote back then. Kind of freaks me out. But I do remember music was my outlet. I would always listen to music. And it's kind of funny when you're depressed. You're like, I want to listen to sad songs. I want to listen to music that puts me in the mood I feel like at the time. And that's what I did. I would listen to a lot of songs like that. But there was one song I would listen to that was not like that. And it was a song that would always, I wouldn't say got me out of the mood, but would really pull me in a more positive direction. And I found this song when I was a freshman in high school. And I think I listened to the song like every single day since then, and I'm 33 now. And it was Jimmy Eat World, The Middle. And that song I used to listen to on repeat. Like, the song was just so motivating and talking about, like, you're just in the middle of something. Everything's going to be all right. You're going to be okay. And I just remember listening to it, like, even if I didn't believe it, I wanted it to be true. So I would always listen to it. I think, like, my CD at the time started skipping because I listened to it so much. I think I had, like, 5 copies of this song because of that. So I credit, like, that song for getting me out of, like, a lot of rough times and motivating me not to wallow in self-pity or feeling like a victim of something that I didn't really know what I was dealing with, because even though depression is a chemical imbalance, it's something that is just in your head, like legitimately in your head, like not something that you're making up. It's just like like, this is what gets me mad too, is like people always say, like, you know, it's depression, you know, just make yourself feel better, you know, go for a walk, like, talk yourself out of it. Like, it really doesn't work when it's, what's wrong with you? Like, you can't get over a cold until time lets you get over it. You, like, can't get over cancer, you know, it's just what you have. Like, there's nothing I can do with what's in my head. I can just take medication. And then people are saying, like, oh, medication changes you. Like, why are you doing that? But here's the thing, I struggled with that same thing. Like, I didn't want to take medication. And that was for the longest time, I did not want to take medication. Because I felt taking medication was admitting something was really wrong with me. Taking medication was admitting defeat, that I was incapable of dealing with my own... Sorry. That taking medication was just going to change who I was. And I didn't want to change who I was, because even though there's these things going on and I had this stuff in my head, like, I legitly liked who I was. And I always have, because it's who I am. I can't be anybody else. I might as well love myself. So I had a really hard time admitting that medication was something I needed. So it was really hard for me to come to terms with that. So when people sit there and say to you, like, oh, medication is, you don't need that, it's just a placebo, it's just a Band-Aid, like, no, it's really not. It really has helped me. I've gone to therapy. I've worked out all my issues that I had, that from my childhood, from things that happened to me. I've worked through all of that, and I'm a better person. I have dealt with all the circumstances in my life, and I have gone back and forth to therapy every time I felt like it was something I needed in my life. But for someone to diminish a person with a mental illness taking medication, it infuriates me to no end, because you do not know what it's like in that person's brain. You do not know what it's like to walk in that person's shoes. You do not know what it's like to live their life and deal with what they're dealing with. So for anyone to pass judgment on why someone takes medication, it's wrong. And I admit I've done it at one point, before I went on medication, I'm like, it's going to change you. You can't do that. But the reality is, it's necessary for certain people. Yes, there are people that get depression for moments in time. They're able to go to therapy, they're able to work through their issues, and they're able to move forward. But then there's people like me who have clinical depression, and it's not going anywhere. It's with me every single day. And I have to learn to live with it. And how I live with that is through, I go to therapy when I need it, I take my medication, I have my crazy freaking dogs who make everything better, because how can you not be happy when I have these 3 little animals that are so excited to see me when I come home every day. I have an amazing husband who has dealt with me this whole time and has helped me realize that even though I have a mental illness, it doesn't take away anything who I am as a person. So depression is just something I have to deal with. I always just look at it as it's a chemical imbalance in my brain. It's no different than I was born left-handed. It's no different than I was born tall. It's no different than I was born with a deviated septum. It's no different than I was born looking more like my dad. Like, there's no difference, and this is just another way I was born. And if you're strong, I shouldn't even say if you're a stronger person, because that just sounds wrong. But people can learn to deal with it. And I know sometimes it seems bleak, because I've been there too. And I know sometimes that it seems like there's no light, because I've seen how dark it can get. Sometimes it feels like you're drowning, you can't breathe, there's no air, no one can help you. But you've got to find something to help you out of it. And it's funny, because they have all these definitions of what depression means. None of them is what it really is. It's all just what's in your head and how you deal with it. I feel like it's different for everybody. Everybody could probably describe it differently to you. For me, it's just this blah, nothing, non-caring feeling that I'm drowning and there's nothing out there. It's just dark. And that's the best way I can describe it to someone who wanted to know how it feels. But like I said, I'm an advocate for taking medication if you need it. There are other things you can do. I run. Awesome feeling, because I feel like I clear so much of the junk in my brain when I do that. I used to write all the time. Like I said, don't want to know what that says. Now, I have idiot dogs that I cuddle with, and they make me feel loved. So find your outlet, whatever it happens to be. And that's all I have for now. See you in a week.